where I'm at in terms of my PhD is this. Our young people currently are living in environments that are chaotic. And in those chaotic environments are also is traumatic experiences that these young people experience every single day. As I said, they hear about the violence, they see the violence, they have perceived notions of violence, which creates fear. So this notion of, I don't want that to happen to me, is what goes through the minds of all of our young people. You know, government report that came out just before the end of the year said the likelihood for a child to get stabbed is between 20 past or 3:15 to 5:30.
It's just an hour, yeah.
So imagine if mum clocked out at 6:30. So we're telling young people that, you know what, it's scary to be in the major cities. It's scary to be in London, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, because this is what might happen to you. And we're kind of leaving young people to kind of figure it out. And they live in environments where they see individuals that potentially are going to cause harm to them, ask them the very basic question of where you're from, what postcode you're from, what ends you're from. And that's enough to be traumatic in the life of a young person that's just trying to navigate their way to school, to college, to work. So young people develop these kind of nihilistic tendencies and thought processes that in order for me to make it, it just has to be destruction. I ain't going to make it to 21 anyway. I'm not going to make it to 30 anyway, so it's either I get killed or I'm going to kill before that situation takes place. They even make songs about it now. I don't want to die young. I'd rather get judged by 12 than buried by 6. You know, that get rich or die trying mentality. It's nihilistic. So I argue that in that nihilistic context, where young people develop those thought processes of nihilism, that is all about destruction, because I'm so traumatized and I can't deal with that trauma, no one ain't helping me with that trauma. I argued that the new variable, which I answered earlier about social media, I believe that young people are like this anyway, because the environments that they come from, that they did not create themselves, that these environments were created. And then when they come into contact with social media, what social media does, it creates narcissistic tendencies, because it's all about, look at me, look what I'm doing. So you got nihilistic mentality with social media that creates narcissistic behavior. And then what do we see on the streets? Men are prepared now to shoot after each other on camera, because now we're so obsessed with the cameras. Now we're stabbing each other on camera. Not only are we doing that, we're humiliating each other on camera, stripping people naked on camera. What else are we doing on camera? We're now documenting our friends dying on camera. So now we're seeing violence through the lens of the camera. And young people now are starting to learn violence. They're starting to understand traits of violence, humiliation and shame, that in order for you to kind of deal with the fact that you're going through a traumatic experience, I just need to document it. And if I'm engaged in beef, I need to do it online. So now if you go back 20 years and you speak to a gangster 20 years ago, he will say to you, the rule of the book was you would never put anything online, but what you haven't taken into consideration is those stages what I've just mentioned.